So hello and welcome to the new video. So I'm playing the new last epoch 1.2 with all of the changes, and I'm playing as a void knight. Before you start asking some questions, I'm using a max roll guide and I did make some changes. I'm going to talk about it in a second, but the link in the description for a full written guide to the max roll is going to be in the video description. Now, probably a lot of people are going to have a question, because I did see that on a live stream. Can you start the warpath build right away, and can you level up with this build? The answer is yes, it is doable. There's going to be some problem with the mana, but that's what you're going to be expecting. But yes, it's totally doable to take from level 1 to the end game, and mainly using warpath. Along the way, you're just going to be using bits and pieces to help you out, but yeah, that's fully doable. So let me just explain a little bit how do you do that. Not this one. So firstly, warpath is like unlocked very early on, so you can do that right away. The only thing, the difference from the max roll guide or with the warpath, what I would do right away, you go here in the 5 points. Once you have about 4 points, you will notice significantly that your mana is slowing down, like very you're draining very slowly. By the point 5, you're almost on like a permanently spin to win build right away. So going over here in 5 points, it's absolutely great early on. After some, once you get to the end game, you're gonna be respecting that. So that's like a different story. But then, once you run out of mana early on, I was using Vengeance, and then I was using Reef. Reef, I went over here because that's like the void theme over here. But but once I have 5 points over here, warpath was my main and only source of skill. So that's what you do like early on, like super early on in the game, right? There's a couple items that you can buy when you're early leveling. Like this sword is like very early on, like level 15 requirement will give you like a lot of power. I was using this sword to about 62 before I found something better. Like the amulet is great against power. The sentinel relic is great because it gives you like the costs, mana cost, and +1 to skills, right? Then boots are actually quite good as well because you're gonna get some damage. And the ring is like a little bit later on, but those, I would say, those items early on will help you out with the leveling experience if you can get early on to some kind of taxi to the bazaar. So I'm still progressing the gear. I'm still trying to get get the build running because I'm still missing the mana from the version in the guide. I'm supposed to have like 400, so I'm still not there because I'm missing like the gear bits and pieces. So, but even in my current form, I would say the build still feels fine. I'm doing currently I'm trying to push the Harbinger for the 200 corruption, so I'm not that far into the corruption, but I'm still having a blast. I'm just killing everything, and it is just fun and easy, and I'm just spinning and then killing everything. It is good, right? It's not much to tell, it feels good, right? Especially playing PoE 2 recently. So I'll just quickly hover over my skills. If I do some kind of change, or there's like a difference between the build guide from the max roll, I would just mention about it. I didn't invest into that block in the max roll guide because I was thinking, what, I'm still fine, I'm not dying. Once I start dying a bit more often on the higher corruption, I will invest into that block and make sure that that probably I'm gonna boost up some defense. So that's the only difference in the max roll guide has this, and I don't have it, and they have more points in the warpath. In here, I don't think there's much of a change. Probably there's no change over here. There's exactly in max roll guide, and over here he went over here to pick up those block nodes. So I skipped that and I put a couple points over here and over here. So that's pretty much for your skills. For the passives, with the sentinel, I know he went to over here to get the block chance, and I just invested more into the strength and one less point in the vitality. So that's pretty much like a difference that, you know, them 3 nodes. With the Void Knight, I have exactly like in the build guide, there's not much to explain over here. The only thing that I would just recommend is the Leech node. As soon as you can get the Leech node. The Leech on this build is so goddamn great. Sometimes I'm gonna get like a chunk for like a half of my life, and then the Leech just gets you back going like right away. It's great. With Paladin, again, he had like some blocks node over here, so I swapped them for the endurance, and that's the main change that I did. I will just hover over the items, but my items are not that great. The only piece of the item that I would say that it's good is my chest. That's pretty much it. The rest of them is like they're okay. With idols, I was quite lucky enough because I got the 2 recommended from the guides, like this one and this one. And the rest of them, like, there are some random ones that I was able to find, you know, while I was playing the game. One thing to mention, when you're gonna be having, you know, your warpath, the cost really low, and you can start spinning all the time, and you start thinking, okay, so I can start adding like Devouring Orb or Abyssal Echoes and so on. Those 2 would drain a lot of mana. You can still have them in your skill tree, I mean the skill specialization over here, but as long as you don't have them on the bar, you're not gonna be automatically proccing them. So what I would say early on, I would not use them, like, you know, I would not use Anomaly, Abyss and nothing like that until you get, in the Void Knight over here, and the Void Well. This will give you like the mana that you need. But before that, before having this, you should have no skills on your bar, like at all. So just to give you like a quick summary, I have a blast playing the build, and I'm gonna be playing the build, and I'm gonna be live streaming on this YouTube channel. So if you encounter that I'm like, you know, live streaming and I did miss something, you know, mentioning, or you're not sure about the build, just pop in the chat, ask a question, and I will try to answer the best as I can. But if you made this far in the video, thank you for watching, and I will see you later.